Okay, my name is Blair Moss. I've been living in Idaho for about 4 years now, and I am running for Republican State Senate for District 19. No one else would step up to the plate. I feel that District 19 needs better representation for all of those that are flocking to Idaho. I don't feel that our current representation really gives the opportunity for all residents within our district to voice their concerns and have that be taken over to the State House. So I'm a community organizer by trade. And so I like listening to what's going on within my community. I worked for a homeless rehabilitation center for many years as a director of development. And I was able to see great programs that help the most vulnerable of our community to becoming self-sufficient families and single adults. But the only way that we did that was to engage the community. And being here in Idaho, I've gotten heavily immersed with the local community, especially in my district. And I think that we can do amazing things. People want to get involved. And I think it's important to have somebody in office that will welcome everyone's involvement and input. I also am the current CEO and founder of Desert Scholarship Foundation, and I help businesses create employee scholarship programs so that they making post-secondary education basically attainable for a lot of kids that would never have been able to go to college, a lot of first-generation college students. So community involvement, community engagement, that's what I think I can bring to the table. The greatest issues facing Idaho today is the freedoms that are being taken away from us that are gifted by the Idaho Constitution and by God. These last couple of years, we have seen massive government overreach, which is totally unacceptable. And I think that's the greatest issue that we have going on right now in our state. If I could change one thing that the current Idaho administration has done over the last 2 years, it would definitely be the vote regarding the PAWS Act to establish the limitations on the ability for public and private entities to impose requirements on individuals to receive the coronavirus vaccine. I think that this legislation for mandated vaccines should have never been created in the first place. Mandates should have never been enacted. Vaccinations are personal choice. And it's something that a free society should be given the choice to do or not to do. That is not the government's responsibility or their role to be impeding on anyone's life in that type of form or fashion. So as far as tax reduction is concerned, I really feel like the people of Idaho know how to spend their money better than the government knows how to spend their money. I mean, we as citizens are good at managing our own finances and determining how to spend our hard-earned money. So I don't need the government telling me how to, use my tax dollars for good. So I'd like to, if in office, reduce the unnecessary spending in government programs. People are much more willing to be charitable when they have the money to actually be charitable. 10%. In order to be more charitable, especially to the most vulnerable in our community, we have to allow our residents to actually have the money in order to be charitable. Taxes have risen, so much over just these last couple of years, just from the time that I've moved here to Idaho to our, paying our taxes last week. Big, huge change. And again, I think that there's programs, non-governmental programs that are phenomenal at helping those that are in need. But we don't need the tax dollars to be spending to be paying for those programs. We as individual citizens need to be behind those programs. So, like I said, I'm the current CEO of Desert Scholarship Foundation, and the reason why we were created was there were several donors that I worked with on a regular basis who said we've got to do something better about the education system that's going on when I was in Southern California. And the biggest problem that we had was skilled labor, and it's a huge problem in Boise. Boise right now is booming, and the biggest issue we're having is finding skilled labor to come in and do all of these amazing jobs in building homes, building infrastructure. And so ideally, what I would like to see happen within our state, and at least within our county, is to start providing job training, certification programs, and ways for us to move people into skilled labor, especially those that are struggling with work or trying to figure out where they kind of fit in right now. I mean, the last couple of years have been very hard. People have been losing their employment and changing careers. And this is a great way for us too to provide a pipeline from our high school settings. So all of these high school students, sometimes four-year universities or two-year universities, those are not the best educational options. Certification programs and trade school programs, these are actual educational programs that they can graduate quickly from and begin to make a very, very good wage for themselves and for their families. That's something that I would really like to see happen in Idaho. I think it's totally doable and attainable, but it's something that will provide the opportunity for our economy to actually grow. As far as exports is concerned, wouldn't it be great to bring Made in America back again? I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful to have Made in Boise? Let's ensure that we can do that. Let's cut some red tape so that we can bring industry and business here and provide that support for the residents and and make beautiful things from here in Boise. So being in an organization where we're helping students move from high school to post-secondary education, I can say firsthand that the educational system throughout the country, but also here in Idaho, is not gifting great opportunity for growth and independence after graduation. So you have students going to four-year and two-year universities that are graduating with massive amounts of debt, and they have no skills whatsoever to be able to provide for themselves. We are setting up these students for failure. I would love to see us to be able to start honing in the opportunities during the high school level, to start giving the opportunity to saying, hey, maybe two-year and four-year universities are not for everybody. Did you know that if you were going to be working in the HVAC industry or as a plumber, did you know that you could make $150,000 a year, at 2 years after some certification and on-the-job training? These are wages that we want our students in Idaho to be making. We want them to be competitive in the job market. We want them to have the education and skills in order to succeed for not only themselves, but for their families, their children, their grandchildren. We're trying to start setting up generations to succeed. Right now, we're not doing that. We are failing our students. We're not teaching financial literacy within the high schools. So students are coming out not understanding how to balance a checkbook, how to open up a bank account, what a credit card is, what interest actually is, and why it's not good to be paying on it. What is a student loan? Why are student loans not maybe the best option for you? If you can't afford school, is there any other opportunities that might be better for you? And these are the conversations that we're not having with our students, and we're setting them up to fail. Let's start having these conversations. And instead of focusing on critical race theory, pornography in our schools, gender identity, let's start talking about how to set these children up to be successful, self-sufficient adults. I would like voters to know that this was not a part of my plan. I did not set out to run for office. I'm running for office because we moved to Idaho for the freedom for my children to be children. And I will not see that opportunity ripped away from them. We are not leaving Idaho anytime soon. We want to be here to raise our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. I feel that now is the most important time for all of us to stand up and fight for what's right for our state, and especially for this district. So I want everyone to know that I'm not a typical politician. I know that sounds cliche, but it really is the truth. I just want to do what's best for all of us, and I want everyone to be engaged in the process.